Okay, so today, John 8 from the Gospel of John, and I'm the light of the world. So that's a really great start to. It's beautiful to read through the 8th chapter, and so we will do that today too. So I'm not only using the prayer, I will go through the chapter too because I don't want to miss certain parts. I really would love to do it all, so to speak, and see if that works or not. We'll see. And so first of all, we start with relaxation, with becoming quiet, becoming present in the moment. So that means leaving things behind that you don't need right now, and concerns, thoughts, ideas about yourself, all of that can just, you can let it go for a moment and even let it go forever. You don't need to pick it up again. So we all put it on the shelf to say lost and found. Okay, put it right there. So we don't need that. And the other thing is, in order to become completely present here, you might as well just breathe a couple of times. So breathe in through your nose, deeply into your belly, and let it go. Let it go. So, creating a bit of space in your consciousness for something else, for a different experience of yourself. In fact, sinking deeper into your consciousness, not letting the superficial stuff, so to speak, get in the way or occupy our minds. So isn't that nice? We can just do that. Leave it behind. You don't need it. You're not from this world anyway. We'll read that later too. It's like, well, I'm not of this world. I'm not of this world, so I let it go. At least for this moment, I do that, and it actually makes me really happy to do so. It's like, oh, unbelievable. I don't have to fill it up with something else. No, it's all taken care of. So here's our stillness, and here's our quietness, our silence. See, and then the presence part is really becoming, allowing this moment to be full and complete, infinite. Like, oh yeah, wait a minute. Oh, it's so good to be here. Oh, so good to stand still for a moment and slow down. Maybe even in my morning it's already nice. So let's start the day right. And start with slowing down. Being very patient and basically relating to what is true and not something else. So that being said, it's like there's no exception to the love of God. So that's the only thing that's really there. That's what we want to experience. Just a touch of the love of God, So that is, be patient, be patient, be patient. Relax. Take time. Don't respond to fear. Don't believe anything that is not, say, confirming your true identity. Don't believe any of that. If it doesn't make you happy just because of the relationship, of the connectedness that you want to experience, if that doesn't seem to happen, that's not it. Let it go. So breathing, releasing, letting everything go out of the way in order for you to be completely receptive right now, here. That will help us today to, it's like, okay, here we are again. Timeless truth. Timeless truth, I speak to you directly to your heart. Like timeless truth. Unbelievable. It's presented here to us. Timeless truth. I am the light of the world. I'm the living God. I'm the light of the world. That's what we're going to practice today. It's like reaching that light, being in that light, seeing that actually that is what we are. That is being offered here. That's being offered here. So that's really lovely. Timeless truth. So, starting then with chapter 8 of the Gospel of John, we use the version that is translated from Aramaic into English, into plain English. And it's helping us to get the authentic or pure message that's being put down on paper, so to speak, for us. And this booklet, I made a little book out of it, tells us about what Jesus is saying in his sojourn here. So today there's a bit of, about judgment, forgiveness, and all of this is coming to the surface. So it starts with a woman. She was openly taken openly in the act of adultery. So now this woman is being brought to Jesus. Like, okay, Jesus will tell us, what do you think about this? It's like she was caught, it's like, no, that was not right what she was doing. So now what are you going to say? And then you see, like, okay, beautifully, Jesus is not responding to the outside picture whatsoever. Like, there's hardly any place where he responds directly to what's being said as a response, like with the same content as the question. So it's always like timeless truth is timeless truth. That has nothing to do with the temporary or the ephemeral. So then he says this, I will read it because it's really, it's very famous. It's a familiar story. Teacher, this woman was taken openly in the act of adultery. But in the written law of Moses, he commanded that we shall stone such as these. What therefore do you say? Like, now, finally we get you. We got you on this one. And this they said, as they were tempting him, so that he might have something for which to accuse him, because his innocence was really, like, not feeling good for the ones that were around him. That was not feeling good, he was too innocent. So there must be some flaw somewhere. We can get him for something. But Joshua did something completely different. So he's not responding to it directly. What is he going to do? He's going to write with a stick in the ground, like he was writing on the ground. But as they persisted asking him, he stood up and he said to them, he among you who is without sin, let him first cast a stone upon her. And stooping down again, he wrote on the ground. But when these heard, they were exciting, one by one, beginning from the elders, and the woman who has been in the midst was left alone. But when he stood up, Joshua said to the woman, where are they? Has no man condemned you? But she said, not even one, Lord God. And Joshua said, neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, sin no more. And Joshua spoke again with them, and he said, I am the living God, the light of the world. Whoever follows me shall not walk in darkness, but shall find the light of life. Wow, I am the living God, the light of the world. Whoever follows me shall not walk in darkness, but shall find the light of life. So this is the start of our class. It's like, okay, who follows me? Like who is going to join me in this? Not looking for differences, not analyzing situations, not comparing yourself to anyone else, not, say, using the law of the world to anything, to condemn anyone. No, but change that into a Christ vision. Just waiting long enough that you see that there's no exception to the love of God. That everything that you are going to encounter will speak to you of the love of God. So this is the light that we're looking for on a transformational, say, spiritual path. Like, allow that light to happen in every situation. So we practice that, we train that. Like, oh yeah, wait a minute. There must be a different way to look at this. I might be able to see this in a whole different way. I'm missing it constantly. I miss constantly what is right in front of me. Because I think I can trust my eyes. But these eyes are not made to see. So they don't see anything, in other words. So I can stay in my comparisons and my analysis and even my statistics. And I can prove to myself that I'm right. But that's not going to do anything in reality. So that's the beauty of what Jesus says here as an example or as an invitation to you. Like, okay, follow me. Follow my Christ vision. See with me what is really there. Feel that light in you. And there would be no reason for you to attack. No, there would only be a reason to add your joy to what is occurring or to what you see. Like you become totally grateful for what you see, because everything is talking to you about the confirmation that, yes, there's no exception to the love of God. Everything is connected with every aspect of creation, and you take that with you wherever you go. And you can see that right in this instant. You don't have to wait for it. It is right here. It's being presented to you continuously. So then every situation becomes an opportunity to heal and to actually, for you to heal, to go right through it, through the appearances and see, oh my God, I cannot believe my eyes. I can't believe what I'm seeing. How great is that? Thank you. Then it's like, oh yes, I can now finally enter into a state in which I am so happy for no reason to see that grace is here and that the light has come into me. And I can actually experience that. And my happiness is like extending to everyone who wants to receive it. Like my happiness I take with me. Because I got a little secret here. It's like, okay, this is the best kept secret of me. I didn't know it was in me either, but I found it. It is here. It's like, oh yeah, that's the best kept secret. To yourself, of course. So once you discover it and see that there really is no exception to it, what can be your concern? What can be your concern? And what could be in the way? Like, well, you see that. See, it is really great. It's like you receive during the day, just as a little sidetrack, during your day, you receive a lot of messages from the ones that seem to be coming to you. And some of them really upset you, and some of them make you angry, and some of them do other things with you. It's like, Is there a message coming to you directly that makes you indescribably happy for no reason? No, probably not. If so, it would be wonderful. But if not, you see that the witnesses that you're actually watching have nothing to do with the reality of who you are. You're just perceiving them as a sort outside of picture, like something that comes to you, but the message that they carry is darkness, is not what it really is. In example, if you go to a doctor and the doctor tells you something that you should be really concerned about, it is not really that he is sharing with you the truth of who you are. So now you can do two things. You can take that seriously, and I'm not telling you not to, but I'm giving you another option here. It's like, well, he's not telling you the truth. Otherwise you would be extremely happy, because there is nothing. God does want you to be happy, and that is how we know each other. And that is your reality. And you can have 1,000 questions and you can have 1,000 defenses against this. But in the end, you know that this is going to be it for you. There is no exception to it. And I'm saying this really simple, in fact. But see, the messages that you take serious and that you are worried about it for a very specific reason. Because you feel not at ease. You literally feel sick about it. You are diseased by it. So when that is so, when you feel that way, it is not a confirmation of your reality. So do you need to listen to it? Well, it's where you want to focus on. Like if you want to join in the joy that's available about the truth, who you are, you might as well just dive into that. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to other people or whatever appears to be there. No, what I'm saying is this, is stay with that long enough. Don't respond to it in the way that you are used to, but give it a moment to receive this in a different way and wait for the truth to be revealed to you. Not as an, like, is it true or not true kind of waiting, but more like, no, let this be confirmed to you as a confirmation of your connectedness with your brother. Despite of what the content of the message seems to be, you can still completely connect with your brother in it and with him, So the form, it's not about the form. It's not about what you see or hear, but it's your opportunity to give. So that will be your only question, like, how can I give in this moment? How can I extend myself to my brother? How do I recognize the truth of who I am in my brother? So not feeling comfortable with certain messages is a good idea, is a good thing, in fact. It's like a flag. It's like, no, that's not from my natural environment. It is actually coming to me, and if I would believe in it, it would upset me. So now I come back, like, wait a minute, where is my origin? Where is my source? And what is it? Where is my happiness? That's really where it is going. This is what you finally, eventually will learn in all situations. Okay, so the other part is the darkness, however you want to formulate it. So that means also, it's like here, follow me, follow Christ's vision in all situations. And that is, I'm one with my Father. I'm the light of the world. I bring this light into this world. Like nobody else is going to do that but me. Like I'm responsible for that, to do that. That's my task, and I feel very happy doing so. Not to convince any other, no, to literally give that to the world that I created. Okay, so we're going... here it continues on 13. So the Pharisees were saying to him, "You are testifying about yourself. Your testimony is not true." And Joshua answered and said to them, "Even if I testify about myself, my testimony is true, because I know from where I have come and where I'm going. But you do not know from where I have come and where I'm going. You are judging carnally. I'm judging no one. But even if I do judge, my judgment is true, because I am not alone, but I am my Father who has sent me. And in your written law it is written, the testimony of two men is true. Well, I am the living God, I who testify about myself, and my Father who has sent me has testified about me. Okay, so this is great. So it says here, like, you are judging carnally. I'm not judging no one. But even if I do judge, my judgment is true, because I'm not alone. So, and then it's like, what I love about the idea of judging truly is a whole different setup than you would expect. It's like, okay, so what is the judgment of God about this, you know? And then the only sentence that really stays is this. It's like, this is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased. It's like there's a fulfillment in it that doesn't miss a piece, you know. That is how you judge your brother. Like, there's nothing missing in all of that. Like, my brother is whole and perfect as he was created by God. Like, there's nothing missing in that. If I don't see that, I'm, in my observation, miss something. So here's right judgment. Like, if you want to judge your brother right, that's great, because it's like you want to see him whole, and you want to add your joy to the realization of that. You want to see that you are one with him and celebrate that with him. So that's a totally different setup than carnally judging someone, as it says here. Oh yeah, so on 22, the Judeans were saying, will he now kill himself? Because he said, like, okay, I am moving on, and you will seek me, and you will die in your sins, and where I'm going, you cannot come. So and the Judeans were saying, like, will he now kill himself? Like, is he going to suicide? Because he had said, where I'm going, you cannot come. And he said to them, you are from below, I am from above. You are from this world, but I'm not from this world. I said to you that you shall die in your sins, for unless you shall believe that I am the living God, you shall die in your sins. See, and that's not because he condemns them to sins. It's like, no, you miss it where it's all about. So if you don't want to see your brother for who he really is and see the completedness of him, you're missing it. So you literally, like, if you see sin as being off the mark, like missing it, you just miss the real picture that is here. You miss the opportunity to see your brother as whole and perfect. That is what you miss, and that is the sin, so to speak. It's not about the things you do, it's about what you see, you know, what you're opening up to. So that is really beautiful to see that. So, and we continue. Okay, so continuing in 26. There are many things for me to say and judge concerning you, but he who has sent me is true, and those things I have heard from him, these things I'm speaking in the world. And they did not know that he spoke to them about the Father. Joshua spoke again to them. When you have lifted up the Son of Man, then you shall know that I am the living God, and I do nothing for my own pleasure, but just as my Father has taught me, so I am speaking. So he's speaking to the ones that cannot hear this. It's like they can hardly pick that up. It's like when you lift up the Son of Man, when the Son of Man is being lifted, in fact, if you want to see it in a transformational way, it's the other way around almost. Like atonement is the idea of undoing. It's like you are undone in your ideas about yourself. That's what lifts you up. Like that is your lifting up of the Son of God, like being reborn again as a Son of God. And letting your world fall apart as a Son of Man, being completely undone, coming with open arms and open hands to your Father. That is lifting the Son of Man. So you see all these lines that we just used, all that is given, is all in fact the parts that have to do with the healing, the transformational way that we're going, and which parts of you are falling apart, literally. Suddenly you feel that you are being lifted up. You experience light. You experience light that starts to come into your system by you letting go of ideas, by asking Spirit to help you with it, and maybe asking for a miracle just to allow something else to occur. And seeing that you're entitled to that. Like, no, you get all the help that you need, but it is really like knowing that you can ask for it. Knowing that, knowing what darkness is, makes you want to go to the light. It makes you want to experience light. And then the same with judgment. Leave all judgment behind. If you want to judge someone, see him as whole and perfect. That's going to do it for you. If you discover the beauty of your brother, then you don't have a reason to judge him. You just want to extend your love to him. So, and then the other part too, it's like, I'm not of this world. Like, I don't belong here. I try to fit in. I try to do this and that. But hey, that's not going to work. Because I'm not from here. So all the things from here will feel very unfamiliar. In fact, they're always strange, weird, out of accord. It doesn't feel like connected. So it's a continuous, recognition that this is not, that you're not part of this world in that sense. You're not from here. You're in it, but you're not from it. So, and that makes it easier for you to see, okay, so now instead of looking outward for my happiness, I'm going within and let that occur to me and see that is my fulfillment, my completedness. So on 38 it says here, I am speaking with the thing I've seen with my Father. You are doing the thing that you've seen from your Father, not with a capital F. So you repeat that for yourself. They answered and were saying to him, Abraham is our father. Well, Joshua said to them, if you were children of Abraham, you should have been doing the works of Abraham. But now you're actually wanting to kill me. It's like, well, that's not really what Abraham was teaching. It's like, hello, you say that you're from that you're from this, but you're not acting out on it. Like you think that you're from Abraham, but you're not really teaching that, demonstrating that in your actions, because now you want to kill me. So how is that supposed to work altogether? And see, then Jesus in the end says, like, I'm the living God. Like, before Abraham was, I already was. How does he say that? Oh yeah. Timeless truth I speak to you. Before Abraham would exist, I'm the living God. I love that. It's like they literally try to use everything against Jesus and try to attack him, but they cannot reach him. They cannot do that, and of course they get even more angry. Like, this has nothing to do in that sense with this world. So there will never be a relationship between the two. It's like, no, you're either in it, you're either in light, or you're in darkness. There's no in between. That is always the same story. It's like the level in which you face the problem. It can never be solved in that level. No, it's beneath that. Like, no, it has to do with the truth of who you are. There's nothing to do with your perception or your ideas about yourself. So this comes to us, like in this text too, continuously. Timeless truth, I speak to you. Here's another part I want to share. This is this. If I glorify myself, my glory is nothing. It is my Father who glorifies me, he of whom you say he is our God. And you do not know him, but I know him. And if I had said that I did not know him, I myself would have been a liar like you. But I do know him, and I keep his word. See, and then it comes with timeless truth. I speak to you. Before Abraham would exist, I'm the living God. See, the thing with what we're reading and how to use this in a sense, or how to read this, how to look at this, is the temptation to see this as a story. Has been used a lot in the last 2,000 years. We've all listened to this story probably, and had an idea about something that happened to Jesus, and no. But in fact, it's actually telling us about the quality that we can experience, like in light. That is what we can experience, and that is what is given us in what Jesus is sharing. The vibration of what Jesus is saying is, you can receive it, and seeing that is like your alignment with truth, and seeing that is it is a delicate part of you that is your truth. So it is. Don't compare it to the world. Don't try to fit it into your life story, or don't. With this, reading this too, is like, well, there's not a story about Jesus. Now, this is really like almost like instructive to you for your remembrance. Like, don't forget this. It is not that. It is not that. It is not. Judgment is not what it looks like. Light is different than what you think it is. Are you recognizing darkness? Do you see it for what it is? And all that. So actually, it is an invitation to become still and to feel what is being shared. So, and that is what we're going to do in the meditation too. So these words will come back. I wrote another PDF with parts of John chapter 8. And then, in order to receive this, it's like, it is not about the words. So it is really instructive in terms of, it's coming literally from out of time. It's coming from the place of light. And this is going to dispel darkness. This is going to put these things aside, or shine them away, if you want. If you allow that to occur. If you can see, oh yes, I can let this go now. I'm open. I'm willing to receive this, and I want this truth to feel in my heart. So that is what we practice in the meditation. So I'm going to start with that. During the meditation, I will read this, say a couple of times. We have 4 to 5 minutes in between. So here's the meditation. I am the living God. I am the light of the world. Timeless truth I tell you. Timeless truth I speak to you. Whoever follows me shall not walk in darkness, but shall find the light of life. I am the living God, the light of the world. I know where I am from and where I am going. I am not from this world. When you have lifted up the Son of Man, then you shall know that I am the living God. Timeless truth I speak to you. Whoever commits a sin is a servant of sin. Whoever keeps my word shall never see death. Before Abraham would exist, I am the living God. I am the living God, the light of the world. I am the living God, the light of the world. Timeless truth I tell you, and timeless truth I speak to you. Whoever follows me shall not walk in darkness, but shall find the light of life. I am the living God, the light of the world. I know where I'm from and where I'm going. I'm not from this world. When you have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall you know that I am the living God. Timeless truth I speak to you. Whoever commits a sin is a servant of sin. Whoever keeps my word shall never see death. Before Abraham would exist, I am the living God.